Never make these 6 mistakes. There are mistakes that cost more than time or effort. They cost us our soul's tranquility. Mistakes that erode our character, unravel our discipline, and leave us vulnerable to the chaos of the world. As Stoics, we do not strive for perfection, but for mastery of ourselves, our thoughts, actions, and emotions. And to master ourselves, we must avoid the traps that pull us away from reason and virtue. Here are 6 mistakes we must never make, for they are not only errors in judgment, but betrayals of our own humanity. 1. Chasing what you cannot control. The first and most destructive mistake is to spend your life chasing what lies beyond your control. Fame, fortune, the opinions of others. These are the mirages that tempt us to stray from the path of reason. We convince ourselves that happiness lies in what we possess, when in truth, it lies in how we think. Epictetus taught us this timeless truth. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Yet how often do we chain ourselves to the uncontrollable? We despair over someone's approval, agonize over the future, or rage against the past. In doing so, we become prisoners of our own desires and emotions. To chase what we cannot control is to surrender our power. It is to live as a leaf blown by the wind instead of the tree rooted in the earth. Never forget, peace is found not in possessing the world, but in mastering yourself. 2. Letting emotions rule your decisions. The second mistake is one we all know too well. Letting emotions seize the reins of our lives. Anger, fear, envy, and despair. These are the forces that cloud judgment and drive us toward ruin. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Yet, how often do we give in to our lower impulses? We lash out in anger, speak when silence is wiser, or retreat into fear when courage is required. Each time we allow emotions to dictate our actions, we betray our reason and undermine our fortitude. Stoicism does not teach us to suppress emotions, but to master them. Imagine a stormy sea. The waves are your emotions, but beneath them lies a calm, unshakable depth. That depth is your reason, your inner fortress. When you act from that place, no storm can unseat you. 3. Neglecting the present moment. The third mistake, and perhaps the most tragic, is to abandon the present moment for the illusions of past and future. We linger in regret over what has already happened, or lose ourselves in anxiety over what might come. In doing so, we forfeit the only thing we truly possess, the now. Seneca warned us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Yet, how often do we fall victim to this suffering? We replay old wounds in our minds, letting them cut us anew. We invent future catastrophes, forgetting that most of what we fear never comes to pass. The present moment is where life happens. It is where we act, grow, and live in accordance with virtue. To neglect it is to waste the gift of existence. Every breath is a reminder that we are here, alive, and capable of choosing how we live. 4. Living for the approval of others. The fourth mistake that can unravel your strength and peace is living for the approval of others. To shape your life around the opinions of those around you is to hand over your freedom. It is a quiet form of slavery, binding your happiness to the unpredictable and fleeting judgments of the world. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Yet how often do we betray ourselves to fit the mold others expect of us? We sacrifice authenticity for acceptance, suppress our values to avoid criticism, and allow the crowd's applause or disdain to dictate our self-worth. Living for approval is a trap. The praise of others is fickle. It can lift you one moment and abandon you the next. Stoicism teaches us to find validation within, rooted in our own principles and actions. What matters is not whether others think you are good, but whether you truly are good. When you free yourself from the need for approval, you gain something far greater: self-respect. You become the captain of your own soul, guided not by the shifting tides of opinion, but by the steady compass of virtue. As Epictetus taught, if you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. Be satisfied being a philosopher, and if you need a witness in addition, be your own. Do not live for the fleeting applause of the crowd. Live for the enduring harmony of your inner self. In doing so, you will find a freedom that no one can take from you. The fifth mistake, and perhaps the most subtle, is failing to examine yourself. To move through life without reflection is to walk blindfolded, unaware of where you have faltered or how you can grow. The unexamined life, as Socrates famously declared, is not worth living. The Stoics emphasized self-scrutiny as a daily practice. Seneca urged, "We should every night call ourselves to account. What infirmity have I mastered today? What passions opposed? What temptation resisted? What virtue acquired?" Reflection is not self-condemnation. It is a tool for understanding, correction, and progress. When we neglect reflection, we allow habits, errors, and destructive patterns to take root unnoticed. We risk becoming prisoners of our impulses and victims of our ignorance. Without self-awareness, we drift further from the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with reason and virtue. But reflection is not only about correcting faults, it is also about recognizing progress. By taking stock of our actions, we learn to appreciate the steps we've taken toward wisdom and self-mastery. It is how we align our daily actions with the person we strive to become. Marcus Aurelius himself practiced nightly reflection, writing, "At day's end, ask yourself, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? What could I do better?" This simple habit transformed his reign and life into one guided by clarity and purpose. To fail to reflect is to stumble in the dark. To reflect is to light the path forward. Never make the mistake of ignoring the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. 6. Procrastinating on what truly matters. The sixth mistake is delaying what is essential, convincing yourself there will always be time later. Procrastination is not mere laziness, it is an act of self-deception, a way of avoiding the uncomfortable yet necessary work of living a virtuous and meaningful life. Marcus Aurelius warned us sternly, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Yet, how often do we live as if we are immortal, as if tomorrow is guaranteed? We put off important conversations, delay personal growth, and ignore opportunities to act with courage and purpose. Stoicism teaches that time is the most precious resource we have. Unlike wealth or possessions, it can never be replenished once it is spent. Seneca observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Each moment you delay what matters is a moment lost forever, a small betrayal of the life you were meant to lead." Procrastination robs us of the chance to align our actions with our values. It allows fear and distraction to govern us, keeping us from becoming who we are meant to be. To live as a Stoic is to act with urgency and intention, to embrace the discomfort of today for the sake of a better tomorrow. Never make the mistake of waiting for the perfect moment. It does not exist. The time to act is now. For as Marcus Aurelius said, do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Stop waiting. Start living. We are not immune to mistakes, but we are responsible for how we respond to them. Stoicism is a practice, a daily commitment to strengthen our character and align our actions with reason. Avoiding these three mistakes is not about perfection. It is about clarity and control. When we stop chasing what we cannot control, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters. When we master our emotions, we become unshakable in the face of adversity. And when we live fully in the present, we unlock the beauty and power of life itself. So let us stand together on this path of fortitude and wisdom. Let us build our lives not on fleeting desires, but on the unshakable foundation of reason and virtue. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The choice is ours. The mistakes are avoidable. The time is now." If this resonated with you, subscribe to the Stoic Verse for more wisdom to guide your journey. Thank you.